Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Hey, what's up, magic makers? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose. With me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Brian+Post. Hope everyone's doing fantastic today. I don't even know what today is. Today's tremendous Thursday. Terrific Thursday is today. Look, those are some beautiful mountains. I was on the road and was passing through Klamath, California, home to the mighty Yurok tribe. And I thought, let me just slide in here real quick and snatch some free Wi-Fi and talk to you guys, chop it up with you for just a minute. Hey, Mimi. So I love the Yurok people. They're a beautiful people. And so if you ever have an opportunity passing through the 101 North from Eureka up to Crescent City, you pass right through Klamath. So it's a nice place. And I'm here at the casino. The Yurok tribe has a casino here. I don't gamble. Maybe once every 10 years I'll play some blackjack just to lose some money. But usually I always win a little bit, but otherwise not a big gambler. But anyway, I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit about the unconscious mind, especially the unconscious mind of your children, but also your own unconscious mind. If you've seen the various movies about Christ, the last days of Christ, you know that right before he went back into the spirit, he said, "Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do." And I think that's really important for us to understand that when it comes to our children and sometimes even ourselves, that we are not conscious of most of the behaviors that drive our lives. You have children who have experienced trauma. That trauma is stored at a brainstem level, and that is unconscious. And stress activates that unconscious network of memories and experiences. And there is no words to that experience. It's all emotional. And what makes me think about that is just this afternoon, I was spending some time with a family in Garberville, and the mom was talking about how the daughter has such hostility towards her and she doesn't understand it. And we were able to go into a little bit about the young girl's history, and she's 16 years old, and just see the patterns of rejection and abandonment. Hey, Monica. Oh, good. You just finished From Fear to Love. That's fantastic. Be sure to listen to the audio and read it again. Give yourself a day or a week and then read it again. Commit it to memory. And so we were able to go into the history of the abandonment and the rejection that this young woman at 16, still a child, I'll call her a young woman, she experienced before the age of 6 months, all the way up until 6 months. And how I believe personally that her adoptive mom now triggers that, not only triggers that rejection and that abandonment and that insecurity, but is a representative of that, especially when the girl is under an amount of stress. Because when we are stressed, the brainstem opens, and when the brainstem opens, that's where all the trauma memories, the trauma vibrations come from. And so then what happens is you have her mother, who but represents that feminine mothering energy, has that feminine mothering vibration that speaks to her own vibration of rejection and insecurity and abandonment, because that's the similarity. See, the vibrations that we experience from outside of us, based on experiences that we're having, they match up with vibrations and emotional experiences that we've had in the past. And all of a sudden, our brainstem turns on and releases that experience, and literally you think and you feel just like you did in that state of helplessness, that state of vulnerability. And so that's what actually paints your lens for reality. And so here's the thing. We are always, in our society, getting upset with our children because of the bad choices they make, because of their actions, because of their, their rejection of us as adults or as parents. And when we do that, what is actually happening is our own core stories of abandonment and rejection and insecurity are getting stirred up. So we're getting upset with our children, and in reality, we're getting upset with them because they're triggering our insecurities, our fears, our considerations of not being good enough. And then we try to get them to stop what they're doing, and then we use punishment, or we want to yell at them, or we want to blame them, or we want to shame them. But then in that state, we are completely mindless of the fact that they are operating from their own trauma. Here's something I want to ask you guys to do. I'm going to give you going into the weekend. Going into the weekend. Of course, we have tomorrow, but then going into the weekend, through the weekend, I want you to work on one very important thing. I want you to pray on this. I want you to meditate on this. I want you doing nothing more than being more loving. That's all I want you to do. I want you to focus on being more loving. I don't care what your kid's doing. I don't care what they're doing. I don't want you to think about, the behavior. They're going to act the way they're going to act, and I want your response to their behavior to be more loving. So this weekend I'm going to completely let you off the hook from having to get on to your kids, or having to correct them, or having to set limits, or anything like that. The only thing I want you to focus on from today going into the weekend is being more loving. Because what's going to happen, and what's already happening, is every time your child misbehaves, which is based on their stress, which is based on their emotional regression, you get stressed, and then you regress, and then you go into your stuff. So then you move out of a place of love into a place of fear. And you're focused on trying to correct your child's behavior. But here's the thing. I want you to focus on, in that experience of fear, becoming more loving. That's your business. Your business this whole weekend is not going to be your children. Your business is going to be being more loving. And I want you to be about your business. I want you to be about your business. I want you to think less about what your kids are doing, and I want you to love more. I want you to be more loving. Because you're going to have so many invitations to be completely stressed out. I want you to focus on being more loving. I want your response to be more love. More love, more love. I want you to stop thinking about what this kid's going to be like when he's 18. I want you to stop thinking about, the fact that they're probably going to kill one another if they keep fighting. I don't want you to even think about that. They start fighting, I want you to love them more. Well, how do you love kids more who are fighting? Well, you just say, I love you. I love you guys. And look at them and smile and say, God, I just love you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to love you more and more and more. And go tackle them. Go tackle them and kiss them all over their face and hug them and squeeze them. And they go, get off me, get off me. And you say, I just can't because I got to love you. That's what I want you to do this weekend. I want you to practice radical love. I want you to practice loving in the midst of fear. Because you get all these invitations all the time. And what you want fundamentally for your children, what you want is for them to be more loving. You want them to be able to be more regulated. Because when you start thinking about your child being a positive, healthy adult and having a family and not breaking laws and rules and all that kind of stuff, ultimately what you're saying is you want your child to be able to have more regulation for stress, which means they are more loving. So if you want your child to be more loving, you have to be more loving towards them. That's your assignment for this weekend. So I want you to go get it now. I'm probably going to see you tomorrow. There's no reason why I wouldn't. If I saw you today, I'm going to see you tomorrow. More love, more love, more love. Big Papa loves you. God bless you. Remember, in any given situation, we always have two choices. We can continue to react from the same blueprints of stress, fear, and overwhelm, or we can stop, breathe with me. We can take 3 to 10 deep breaths, and we can choose love. We'll see you guys tomorrow.